Welcome back, guys, to another video. Now, this is going to be a little bit different. We're doing a case study with a good friend here, Phil, and we're going to talk about how testosterone will literally impact and change your life, and how his testosterone went from 17 nanomoles to 25 nanomoles. So that's almost a 200% or double testosterone. And this is going to change your life completely. And don't just hear it from me, but we'll speak to Phil and we'll go over exactly what we did to get his testosterone to that level. Now, I want to ask you, what is the biggest difference you've noticed in your life in terms of your mindset, your energy? I guess when you wake up in the morning, how do you feel now in terms of just going about your day versus now having the feeling of direction? Or you tell me.
Jakey, it is night and day. G'day, everyone. It is absolute night and day. When I wake up, guys, the feeling, I actually feel like I want to do stuff. Like, I felt like absolute death going through the motions. Don't get me wrong. I did everything that I needed to do, but for the most part, I was there, but I was never fully there. I lost that spark. Think about like when you are fresh 18 or you're early in your 20s, whatever, everything is possible. Everything seems seamless. You might have gone out, you can back it up day after day. That, I'm telling you, that feeling has come back. And guys, I'm 38, guys. Like, I'm turning 38 this week in a couple of days, and I feel like I'm back. It is night and day. The mental clarity is another thing, guys. I have focus and clarity like I never have before. And guys, this is before I'm even touching any supplement. We're just going to go into kind of lifestyle changes for the most part and diet. This is without even supplementing or anything like that. But it has been a noticeable difference, like even libido wise and stuff, which we'll talk about later. But I'm just saying it is a night and day difference. And this was probably over a span of about 3 months, 3 to 4 months since I started working with Jakey. It's absolute night and day, but I can't stress the feeling, guys. The feeling of, you just know you're not 100%. You don't quite know what it is. And for the longest time, I actually didn't know what normal felt like. I thought that was normal. So I'm like, I just accepted it. No, fellas, you don't have to accept it, but small little tweaks, and Jakey's all over it, guys.
So exactly what he said. If you don't know, you don't know. And there could be a lot going wrong internally. But if you've never done the blood work to actually know, hey, let's investigate. Let's see what's going on here. What's causing this brain fog? What's causing these mood swings? What's causing low energy, low libido? If you're gaining body fat, if you're going to the gym, you're trying and trying, you just can't seem to gain any sort of muscle or change your physique. It may not actually be your fault. The underlying cause of this may be low testosterone. Now, just to give you a rough example, over from the 1950s to present day, 2025, the average man's testosterone levels have decreased by around 50%. And this is no coincidence. This is going back. We can look at lifestyle habits, our environment, chemicals, nutrition, sleep, pollutants, chemicals, even our fruit that we eat. It's covered in pesticides. Everything we eat is coming out of plastic now. Our consumption of microplastics has gone up dramatically. All these things are shifting men's testosterone for the negative. They're not obviously improving your testosterone. Now, there's a lot of theories behind this. People can say, oh, it was done on purpose. We're not going to go into the conspiracy side of things. Some people might say, oh, it's easier to control a population with lower levels of testosterone. It's definitely a question that can be raised. But I want to stick to the fundamentals of what you can actually do to improve your life right now. It's information you can take out of this video and apply it to your life and notice a noticeable difference. So, starting from the very top, we're going to talk about lifestyle changes, right? So, your background. Do you want to give a bit of information about your background, what you did from work, what you do for work, and sort of what shifted with that, and even your exposure to the sun, to rest, sleep, all that, how it's affected you?
Yep. No worries, guys. So for a lot of you guys watching this, maybe you're in blue collar work, and that's exactly where I was, guys. So I've been doing carpentry, construction, laboring, whatever, anything that you in that kind of realm for the last 18 years. More in particular, in the last 3 years, I was working in the tunnel. We're building the Metro Tunnel upgrade in Melbourne, Victoria. 60 hours a week underground, guys. Dust, confined spaces, loud machinery, exposure to shift work. Guys, shift work is that shift work is the absolute devil. Like 2 weeks on days, 2 weeks on nights, absolutely throwing around your circadian rhythm. Guys, I wasn't right. I'm telling you, the biggest lifestyle shift was I had to just put my hand up. I came to Jakey and I said, I need to tap out here. I need something needs to change. And then Jakey's like, you're not actually getting exposed to natural sunlight. You're not getting fresh air. Your sleep times are all over the shop. It's just a lifestyle work, like a works lifestyle play kind of issue. So as soon as I got out of that, guys, it's kind of like something like this invisible curtain just came down away from me, and I could breathe again, and that is when I started rejuvenate. I don't know what it's called, if I was replenishing or whatever, however I want to look at it, but I actually felt like I was healing in real time with simple principles like consistent clean diet, exposure to proper sunlight. I was waking up when my body actually wanted to wake up, not when I was told to wake up for the most part, at a consistent time. And that's the thing. My body was craving consistent good habits that was kind of getting drawn away from the lifestyle and the workplace that I was in. So for the most part, when that got cleaned up, it's literally just exponentially, I felt normal and better.
So spot on. Your lifestyle is probably one of the biggest determining factors of your overall testosterone level. If even your mood, if it's constantly being suppressed by an external source, if you have a boss or someone constantly talking down to you, you automatically take the role of not submissive, but you take the role of, okay, I get told what to do, I get told when to show up. There's no accountability for yourself. So this shifts your mindset into not having to be, I guess, controlling, not having to create, to that mindset of, okay, I'm just going to do what they tell me to do. That's one thing. Another massive thing is vitamin D exposure. So vitamin D, contrary to popular belief, people call it a vitamin. It's actually a hormone, and the half-life of this hormone is around 9 months or so. So I'll give you an example. If you go out into the sun and you get really good sun exposure, the half-life of vitamin D in your system will last around 9 months. But the biggest issue for this in Australia is we have great sun, we get really bright, hot days. But a lot of people are confined in their workspaces to work under fake fluorescent lights, working underground on construction sites, barely getting enough exposure to sunlight. And it's not just exposing your eyes and seeing the sunlight. You need to get sun on your body, primarily your torso and your limbs, like your forearms and legs. They're the best receptors or sites where they have the most receptors to absorb vitamin D. And these sites, they have things called keratinocytes. That's where the vitamin D gets absorbed. And then another key thing a lot of people don't realize is when you get full sun exposure, don't go in the shower and wash yourself off straight away. It takes around 6 to 12 hours for the vitamin D to actually synthesize and absorb through your skin. So just keep that in mind too when you get sunlight exposure. Stress is another massive thing. So in modern day society, people are under tremendous stress, whether it be financial, relationships, just work stress, pressure, everything like that. So this is going to wreak havoc on your endocrine system, and it's going to put you in that flight or fight response. And when you're constantly in that flight or fight response, you're waking up to an alarm that's literally shocking you. The alarm goes off and you're like, you get out of bed almost in a panic. You're like, oh shit, I got to turn this alarm off. That puts you in that flight or fight response, and your cortisol goes sky high. Now, when your cortisol is high, that directly affects your testosterone level, and it drops your testosterone. Cortisol high, testosterone low. High testosterone, low cortisol. They work inversely with each other. So you can imagine if you're always in this stressed environment, you're in a dark underground environment, you're not getting good sunlight, your nutrition is not on point, which we're going to do a deep dive into nutrition next. But also nutrition is another massive factor here. If you're not getting enough healthy fats in your diet, your body's not going to have the building blocks to make testosterone, and the building blocks come from cholesterol. So now, diving into nutrition, what does your body actually need to make testosterone? So as we said, it needs cholesterol, and cholesterol is found in foods like red meat, animal fats, eggs, fatty fish, omega-3s, avocado, olive oil. All these things contain good amounts of fat. Now, this fat goes into your body and it synthesizes via, the transition is via pregnenolone, and then that goes into testosterone, and then from testosterone it converts into its most potent form called DHT, or dihydrotestosterone. Now, dihydrotestosterone is what gets blamed for a lot of men's, male pattern baldness, because the DHT binds to the scalp and it leads to a loss of hair follicle, and the hair follicle dies after time. But there's new research that's coming out that's showing that hair loss actually stems from gut health. If you have inflammation in your gut, obviously hair loss to some degree it's genetic, but if you have bad gut health, this is when nutrition comes into play. If you're constantly eating high sugary foods, a lot of fructose, glucose, gluten, all these highly inflammatory foods to your gut, this is going to trigger baldness as well. So don't just blame high testosterone, because we've both got high testosterone and check the hair out. I don't think there's a problem there. So this is another testament where we're disproving all these myths that are out there. So your diet, tell us about your diet, like what type of food you eat, how clean it is, how consistent you are with your eating, and what you noticed.
So for the most part, there are a couple like I do tend to eat pretty clean, but for all that food that Jakey mentioned before, when I doubled down and he told me about all this kind of primal eating and stuff like that, when I fully doubled down, that is when I noticed like skin was all like, cleared up a lot more, energy levels. It was just more convenient, easier to shop. I had less thinking, and for all those, yeah, for all that kind of mentioned above, like as soon as I started eating like that, epic game changer. Like don't have to think about much, and I just kept it simple. Like simplicity is bliss, guys, and I've literally just ever since then, yeah.
So it is that simple. Your shopping list, like you shouldn't have to go to the shops and read the ingredients at the back of a packet of something, and you can't even pronounce half the ingredients, like xylitol and whatever ingredients are in there, all these technical scientific names. We should be eating foods as they literally come out of nature. You look, what's the ingredients of a steak? It's literally beef. What's the ingredients of eggs? It's egg. If you go and check the ingredients of like half of these protein bars and stuff, they're full of artificial sweeteners and preservatives.
Yeah, all those veggie patties as well. They got about 18 or 19 ingredients. You know what I'm saying? I had a look at it. I gave it a crack. There's no way I'd ever eat that. Single ingredients, guys. It's literally that basic. I just get all the meats, all the fishes, chickens, protein. Like, just kept it simple, guys.
Yeah, and it makes it easier to shop too. And surprisingly, it's not expensive. When you find a good butcher, you know where you're going to get your food from regularly. You know, you can probably get a deal from your butcher if you buy X amount of meat every week on a subscription or whatever. It can work out cheaper too. You're healthier, you get better quality skin, gut health improves, your energy improves, and then you're better off financially. Now, I want to talk a bit more on I guess the life that changes, the other side of life when you have high testosterone and the opportunities you open yourself up to. Imagine you have low testosterone all your life. Just say extrapolate this or, compound this over 10 years. Imagine all the missed opportunities you've had now. You haven't had the opportunity to go up and talk to that person about a business opportunity, or talk to that girl and ask that girl out, or go and speak to the restaurant owner and say congratulate him on, making a great restaurant, walking up to the chef and thanking him for the food, or all these things that come with high testosterone, high confidence, that mindset. Without that, you're leaving so much on the table. You don't know the amount of opportunities that you've potentially passed up by having low levels of testosterone. It goes so much more than the superficial, than the looks, than attracting women. It's so much deeper than that. Without sounding too, I guess, spiritual, it's almost esoteric in a way where if you look at all the high performers around the world, the top guys in sales, the top guys in business, all these entrepreneurs, the common trait is all these guys have high levels of testosterone. And that's because they go after things, they get them, they have success, and they enter this positive feedback loop where they keep winning. And the more you win, the more testosterone you get. And it's just this upward spiral where the inverse of that is if you're in a bad relationship, you're in a shit diet, you're having low sleep, you're constantly in this downward spiral and your testosterone levels are going lower and lower. So how can you expect to win from a place of low testosterone? It goes so much more than just the physical side of testosterone, because a lot of people think, oh, testosterone is just gym, it's a meathead or whatever. It changes your life so much more than the gym, than physical fitness.
Things just seem to happen, fellas. You go after what you want. You're not timid. You can express yourself. You can, like Jake was saying, you can go and talk to the girls. When we go out, things just seem to happen. You just seem to meet people. Why? Because you put your hand out. You're able to express yourself. You're able to talk to people, see the situations for what they are, and just go approach people. When I was low testosterone, you don't have the energy to go out and meet people and put your best foot forward. You might be in your head a certain way that I don't have the right energy here or whatever. You think like something's missing. But when all that fog has been lifted through like diet, lifestyle, and you put yourself into certain situations, you challenge yourself and you do things that are hard, that's generally what having high testosterone is about. It's about being a man and just going after what you want. Things just seem to happen. I can't understate it.
That's a perfect example. You heard it yourself, guys. This is not made up. It's not propaganda. It's not, what they told you to believe, toxic masculinity. There's a reason why there are genders, and there's a reason why people have specific strengths and weaknesses. And play to your strength. As a man wanting to increase your testosterone, this is a massive advantage you can have in the world by having high testosterone. It'll open you up to opportunities, to health, to longevity. Even we look at long-term health. High testosterone will improve your bone health. Just say when you get into your later years of life, your 60s, 70s, 80s, if you have a fall and you've had high testosterone levels through your life, your bones are way more denser. There's way less chance of you breaking a bone. It's a fact. It's a literal scientific fact. There's the density of your bones, plus obviously your muscles are a lot stronger, your stabilization, there's less chance of you actually falling. your brain health, so your cognition. High testosterone plays a massive role in your brain health long term. Healthy fats, nutrition. Your brain survives off fats. So that's how important it is to have healthy fats in your diet, from meat, from eggs, from fish. These stop the early onset of Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative diseases like that. So, like I said again, it's not just superficial, guys. Testosterone will change the rest of your life going from here on out. So don't just think it's going to be, I'm going to get strong in the gym. It goes so much deeper than that. But anyway, I want to keep it short. I want to keep it sweet. I just want to give you a real world example of what high testosterone will do to your life.
Yeah. And contrary to what they say and like in medicine and all the articles or whatever, this is the result, guys. Like you're looking at the result. You're like, who do I believe? Well, we're telling you that we're living it, we're breathing it. And this is the result of, going after it, eating good quality foods, getting your lifestyle sorted and kind of in check. And this could be you guys. Like, don't like. I was like literally suffering for 6 months, solidly going, I feel like absolute shit. But it doesn't have to be like that. And it's just a couple simple tweaks. You're not as far away as you think you are to getting on top of this stuff. So anyway.
And another quick little point I want to bring up is when you go and get your blood work done, a lot of the times the doctor will see your blood work and he'll say you're in the normal range. Okay, so what is the normal range? Modern day in Australia now, they put the normal range as, I think it's 10 or 6 to 28 nanomoles per liter. So that's every year, or every few years it's dropped. Year on year it's dropped lower and lower, the reference range. Why is the reference range dropping so much? It's become acceptable now in society to have normal testosterone of 10 nanomoles per liter. That is not normal. You go to the doctors and you get your blood work done and he says, oh, you're fine, you're in the normal range and you're in your 20s, you're in your 30s. That is not normal. You should not be living your life with that low testosterone level. You should be upper high 20. You should be aiming for like 25 plus nanomoles. If you're in your, you're in your 20s, you're in your 30s, even 40s. Like I've seen guys in their 40s crank out like 27, 28 nanomoles. So don't be fooled by modern day propaganda again, because this reference range is dropping lower and lower. But in terms of blood work, the things to look for again are total testosterone, free testosterone, sex hormone binding globulin. Look at your vitamin D levels. Where are they sitting? Vitamin B, B12. Look at your C-reactive protein. Look at your overall amount of inflammation in the body. If you've got chronic inflammation, there's a good chance your testosterone is going to be tanking. If you're fighting, acute illnesses, there's a good chance your testosterone is going to be tanking. High white blood cells. All these things come into a factor of forming your overall testosterone result. So I wouldn't just take it from one result. Just say if you were sick, for example, and you got a testosterone result and it's a bit low, okay, fair enough. Wait till you get better, retest. But what I'm getting across is your reference range is dropping lower and lower each year. And if you do need help with this, if you want to increase your testosterone and feel what it's like if you want to feel what life's like on the other side of the spectrum, well, contact me in the Calendar link. Feel free to shoot me a DM on Instagram. Contact me. If you want to speak to Phil about it firsthand, contact him. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to another video, and I hope you learned something from this. This has been a bit more informative, but thanks again.